Welcome to Design Diary, the podcast where you get to look inside my board game design notebook as well as what's going on inside my head. We look at a new word each day from the sense of mechanics, tone, theme, or inspiration for a full game. Today's word is Jocose. Given to joking, merry, characterized by joking, humorous. And this one's really hard for me. I don't know about you.
Oh, yeah, super hard. I am not good with kind of party kind of mechanisms where the humor in the game is supposed to come from players or anything like that, which I feel like this word was trying to direct me toward. And so my notes did everything they could to fight against that.
I did the same thing where it's hard to tell people to be funny. You can enable people to be funny. You can give them things that if they assemble them. The one thing I thought of, and it was like, we have a joke, and you get all the pieces of the joke, and you arrange it in a different way than the joke, and whatever one's the funniest. But like, I came to this question, and this is what led me away from the party thing, was how do you measure the success of funny? Like, other than a vote, or a judge, how do you measure that success?
I have no idea.
The only thing
Can you tell me?
No, it's like an open-ended question. I really have no idea. But the only thing that I thought was an actual measurement was like, after someone tells a joke, you have to like compose yourself and then like tap something. And like when you're ready to tap it and you're good, like that's like the length of time that the joke affected you. And it's just the stupidest thing ever. But I was like, I have no idea how you can measure the success of a joke. So I went very different. I sat there and thought about, if anybody's listening and knows how else to measure the success of a joke other than just something subjective. Volume of laughter. You could measure volume. Right. It's not easy. You need tools.
Response. Yeah. Like it's not something that, you can measure one joke is funnier than another.
You could see if somebody's face changes, but it's just like, who's able, that's still subjective. Anyway.
So what did you even get out of that?
Okay, so I got nowhere with that, and I switched it completely. And I said that I did a couple different things. The one that I worked into it was that, what is, like, when I say I'm just kidding or I'm just joking, it's essentially me, like, taking back what I said. Like, okay. Oh, Rob, you're a jerk. Just kidding. Like, I'm taking it back. So I thought of it as an action where you take something back. And it's completely abstracted, but it's trying to get to the root of what just kidding means. So I'm a joker. I joke all the time, and I say just kidding. And it's me just saying something and then being like, nah, I didn't mean that. So a take back where I take an action and then everybody around the table in some sort of player order gets to do a reaction. And then at any point during any of those, I can say I take it back. And what I wanted to do was have it be this sort of like a follow mechanic where you can follow what I do, but I get to say I take mine back and nobody else takes back their reaction. So I say I'm going to move here. You say I'm also going to move there. The next person says I'm also going to move there. I go, all right, I'm out. I take back my move. You guys are now there. It's now your turn. So you're sort of playing off turn on somebody else's turn, doing all these reactions. And on your turn, you have the flexibility to kind of push people in a certain direction and then back out. And if you don't back out, I thought there should be some reward that you make it through the entire round. You get something else that's special where you're like, no, you stuck with your joke. So that's really, really abstracted out, but
interesting.
That's where I got with it.
So it feels like you're bluffing in action.
Yes.
And if anyone kind of calls your bluff, you are able to withdraw at any point.
Yes, and the key part to it is whatever their reaction was, they cannot withdraw.
Right.
So it's I wanted this just like huge player interaction in just a different way.
Huh. I like that. I wondered, like, if a person taking back their turn, if that is satisfying enough to have your turn almost be a waste. I mean, other people did more things on your turn than you did.
Well, that's why I think it won't be a waste. I mean, this is I haven't tried it obviously, but I think it won't be a waste because you're doing things on everybody's turn. So I feel like you're always playing. It's just on your turn you get this take backs.
Interesting.
I have no idea.
I'm thinking of like I guess that leans more into bluffing, but like you have a card that indicates whether you are going to stick with your action or if you can take it back at any time.
Interesting. Yeah.
So your decision has already been locked in, but you cannot react to other people is the problem.
So you have two cards. One is serious and one is just kidding.
Yes, exactly.
That's neat. Yeah. You have to do it. And like maybe you can push your I'm just kidding and I can wait till the last player, but I have to do it at some point if I chose that.
Yeah.
I'm going to modify my notes and add that.
There you go. You're welcome. So yours seemed to be more of a abstract mechanism that would go into a game. Mine was purely theme. I have no idea what kind of mechanisms would go into it, but I started looking into jesters.
Oh, wow.
And fools and people of that kind of type. And did you know that there were jesters in ancient Egypt?
I did not.
There were jesters in ancient Egypt. There were jesters in South America. These people,
I have a hard time believing jesters were a real thing. Like,
oh yeah,
there
were jesters up until the 18th century.
Wow.
So a lot longer than I thought. But a lot of the times there's also the fool, and a lot of these times these people would maybe have physical deformities that people could make fun of, which is kind of really dark when it's talking about humor. And so I wanted to think about was a secret order of the jester or secret order of the fool, where these people who were being made fun of or taken advantage of could secretly rise up and kind of infiltrate the courts of the highest people, who they would normally entertain, and be able to take them over kind of from the inside.
Who's the fool now?
Yeah,
I'm just naming your game, but
and so you would have different skills and different courts that would have demand for them. Like this jester is really good at singing or playing music or storytelling, acrobatics, juggling, good at jokes or even magic. And then these skills would kind of transfer over into, you would flip them over and those skills would maybe be like their fighting ability. And so if you have a juggler who's really good at like acrobatics, they would be very athletic or agile, and that would help them in the battle to come. And so, that was mostly my thought.
That's
not
neat.
Exactly sure how you would balance, kind of these jesters, these fools, and turn them into dark people trying to overthrow governments across the world.
I do imagine them having really interesting abilities, though. Like that's the coolest thing.
Yeah, I like the magic part where they can perform magic, but at one point the magic turns real and they're able to take over.
Yeah, no, that's cool.
So not a lot of laughs to be found. But
mine didn't have any laughs either.
People who work for laughs. So.
I had a laughy thing. I wrote a couple other notes where one was this stupid title called Juxtaposition. And it was where you insert a joke.
So bad.
Where you insert a joke into a non-jokey game. And it almost was like a meta game where you just had to pull this joke out. Like you're handed the joke. And it came from like, I don't know if you ever listened to Norm Macdonald's podcast, but at the end of it, he always has the guests read jokes, and they're jokes that he wrote, and they're all terrible. And by terrible, I mean they're just like they're just not funny. And sometimes, but if Norm says them, they're hilarious. So I was just thinking that, like, almost like a game like Pretense or something where you have this joke, and you just have to, at some point, you got to just say it, and it's your juxtapositioning. But the other note that I had, which I can't read because I did it via dictation on my phone. I can't understand what I said. It was along the same lines. It was things go poorly in a game but you can tell a joke to lighten the mood. And then what it says after that is literally grow after the joke. And I don't know what literally grow means. I think it meant like your morale goes up.
Okay.
You know, and it's like it's just something you can do is tell a joke, and maybe you even would physically do it in a game, but it maybe in like a co-op game where things are just down against you, and just some sort of either an action is telling a joke or you just literally tell that joke. But I don't know what I said after that. So
yeah, I'm wondering if like each person has like tokens and they can assign them to people that tell jokes when they like or at certain times that needed a joke.
Yeah, and
or that kind of stuff.
it can benefit everybody, but also the person who told it.
Right.
And that's where it gets back to like, how do you measure success of a joke?
Yeah. Yeah. Good luck with that.
I know. That's one of those like eternal questions for me. It's like some of the like dexterity questions that are just like unanswerable. Like, I don't even know, but that's fun. It's a fun one. So yeah,
nice.
We both that was cool. That was way better than I thought. I thought we were both going to come with like, hey, make the judge laugh.
Ugh. No, thank you.
Cool. All right. Well, let's do this again next week.
Sounds great. Talk to you later.
See ya.